All right, are we ready? So on Wednesday, what was the first thing that we talked about? Quadratic functions. And what is a quadratic function? Natalie?
A function with the highest exponent of 2.
Good, take a point. So it's x squared. And what is this particular quadratic called? It has a special name. Starts with a P.
A parabola.
It is a parabola, but what is the name of this specific one? It's something function. What? Parent function. Take a point. This is our parent function. And wasn't that on our test? All right, now what did we find next? And what is our axis of symmetry?
It divides the parabola in half.
Cuts the parabola in half. Good, take a point. And what's the formula for axis of symmetry?
X igual a 6 over 2.
Negative b divided by 2a. Negative b divided by 2a. Take a point, not blank. I know. Alright, so we plugged and we used this quadratic to help us. So we said our b was negative 2, and the opposite of negative 2 was what? Positive 2. And we divided it by 2 times 1 because there was no number in front of x squared. What did we find next? Y-intercept. And what is the y-intercept? Raise our hands, 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 raise our hands. Colby.
Where the graph crosses the y-axis.
Good, take a point. Alright, and when it's in standard form, which this is standard form, what is our y-intercept? Raise our hand, raise our hand, raise our hand, raise our hand. Sarah. It's going to be the C. Good, take a point. It's the constant. So what was our y-intercept here? 3. Because that's our constant. Good, take a point, Jorge. Alright. What was the next thing that we found after our y-intercept? Vertex. And how did we find our vertex? Sarah?
First, you find the axis of symmetry.
Good.
And then you plug in the AOS on the y and then we get plot on the vertex.
Good. Take a point. So the first thing you do is you find your axis of symmetry like we did here. And then we plugged it in to find y, and we got our vertex was 1, 2. And what was the final thing that we did? Graph. Yep, good. Take a point. And we used all of our parts to graph. And remember, we wrote down that we find our axis of symmetry first, identify the y-intercept, plug in to get the vertex, and then we graphed. And we even spelled it in Spanish for those of us that wanted to know how to spell it in Spanish. And even if you didn't want to know, we still did it. All right, ready to practice? We're not going to do vertex form. You learned vertex form in Algebra 2. We're in Algebra B. Are we ready? All right, let's go to 36B. B is in potato. Stop, it sounds awful.
That's not me, that's somebody else.
The singing, not the beeping. The beeping is also awful. Yes, it's, you don't think it's loud, but it's so loud, and it's so awful. Yes, like a U-Haul truck.
All right.
4 of us.
Hey, how you doing?
You sign?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope. Yes, he can.
Your child back there, what do you do?
My child is going to do more in his life than sing.
I'm gonna teach him how to sign.
What?
I'm gonna teach him how to sign.
No, you're not going to be around my child.
It's good. Nah, that's not coming to be up on your business. That's your child in my hand. Oh no. What you call it?
That was so creepy. That was so creepy. Like, of all the things that you've ever said, that was so awkward.
I told you about coming. Tell us I come in. I won't let you come in.
Alright, are we ready for the first one?
Yeah.
Yes. Are we super excited?
No.
Can we get super excited?
No.
I will give you more problems to do.
I said I was excited.
Alright, y equals. Do I want to go crazy? Let's not go crazy to begin with. X.
Let's just go ahead and get the crazies out of the way.
Y equals x squared plus 8x. I mean, yes, that. Just read it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm hungry.
Can I get a calculator?
You may. Okay, so normally we would create a table, but now we've learned shortcuts so we don't have to create a table. And what was the first thing that it told us to do on our flappies? Sarah? Axis of symmetry. Take a point. So step 1 is axis of symmetry. And what is the formula for axis of symmetry?
Go ahead, Fred.
All right, Bryn. Try it again.
8x squared plus
Open your flappy and see what the formula is for the axis of symmetry. The one that says axis of symmetry.
x equals negative b divided by 2a.
Divided by 2a. Good. Take a point. Even though that was painful for all of us. All right, now what is our b here in this problem?
My first choice.
8, right? Okay. So the opposite of b, what's the opposite of positive 8?
Negative 8.
All right, so we put negative 8 right here. And remember, it's in standard form, so it's in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So if you get confused, go back to that form. Now it's divided by 2 times what? What's our a here? 1. Good, Jorge, take a point. And it's 1 because there's no number in front of x squared. He said it before you. Sorry. Got to be quicker than that. All right, what's 2 times 1?
2.
And what's negative 8 divided by 2?
Negative 4.
Negative 4.
Ooh, that man almost failed.
Hey, can you pay attention? Because you're going to have a quiz on this in a minute.
He's going to bust his head wide open.
Okay. Well, we can't do anything about it, but we can do our math. All
Dang.
right, step 2 was to identify what?
Axis of symmetry.
That's what we just did. That was step 1. What was step 2?
Y-intercept.
Y-intercept. And guys, if you get confused on what it told us to do, go back to the graphing tab at the bottom where we listed out our steps on what to do. So keep this flap open. All right, what's our y-intercept here? Damien, why don't you tell us what our y-intercept is here? I know, you weren't paying attention. So look at your flappy that says y-intercept, right? And see where it tells us our y-intercept is.
No, whatever, I can't see it. Oh, I see it. 12, 20.
It's just 12.
What's this number right here? 12. Look at you go. Take a point, Damien. All right, Diamond, can you tell us what the last step is before we actually graph? What else do we need to do? What do we do before we plot it? We got to get the vertex. We got to get our vertex. So we're going to plug in y. We're going to plug in x to get our y. So we say y equals, and everywhere we see an x, we're going to plug in negative 4. Negative 4 squared plus 8 times negative 4 plus 12. What's negative 4 squared?
Okay.
Thank you, Jorge. What's 8 times negative 4?
Negativo 32.
Good. Take a point. and then plus 12. Now remember, we're finding our vertex here. So this was find AOS, find y-intercept, find vertex. All right, what's 16 minus 32 plus 12? Yeah, shh. What is 16 minus 32 plus 12? Will?
-4.
Good, take a point. All right, so that means that our vertex is at -4, -4. Are we ready to graph? Do we have everything we need? Good. Let's graph. Don't fall. Are we ready? Almost? Are we ready now? Okay, the first thing we do is we draw our axis of symmetry, which is a -4, and it's x equals, so we go left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we draw a vertical line that's dashed. And you must do that every single time. It is very important, and we're going to talk about why after we graph the whole thing. All right, now we need to plot our y-intercept. What is our y-intercept? No, close the table. So we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Are we ready? Or do we need a mo? Okay, now we need to plot our vertex. And what's our vertex?
-4, -4.
Now, we only have 2 points, and our parabola is a U. So our axis of symmetry acts as a mirror. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4 units away, how many units away does our point need to be on this side? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be right here. And is it going to be a U or a V? A U. Ta-da! We're done.
¿Ya?
Yeah.
¿Se acabó?
With that problem.
Everything?
No.
Why?
Because we have a quiz in a minute and I wanted you to be ready for your quiz.
La quiero mucho.
Don't you want to be ready for your quiz? I know it's mucho.
No, que la quiero mucho.
That's the point of what we're doing, right?
Yeah, I was talking about is it gonna be like
Oh, yeah. I put little note cards with graph paper on there for you. But if you need more graph paper, you're welcome to find some more. No big deal. All right. Do you want to do one more together or do you want to try one on your own? One more together? Okay. All right. B as in potato. Me too, baby. I'm hungry.
What are you getting these words? You should say B as in Bojangles.
No, I don't like Bojangles.
You don't?
No. All right, y equals x squared minus 5x plus 12. Are we ready? Okay, what is step 1?
axis of symmetry.
What did we just write down, baby? Read, look back at your notes.
Quadratic function.
Axis of symmetry. I know, and then you said no. So I need you to be confident. Axis of symmetry, which is the opposite of B divided by 2 times A. Yes. All right, what is the opposite of B here? Positive 5. Good. Divided by 2 times 1. Why did we pick 1? Yes. Both of you are right. Take a point. All right, what's 2 times 1? And what's 5 divided by 2? All right, give somebody else a chance.
Why is it positive 5?
Because B right here was negative 5, correct? And what's the opposite of negative 5? Yep. Yep. No, that's a great question. I'm sure someone else was questioning it too. And are we going to be afraid of that fraction or the decimal? No, we're not. Nope, nope, nope. All right, are we ready? 2. What is step 2? Y-intercept. Good. Both of you take a point. And what's our y-intercept here? 12. Look at you go, Damien. Take a point. You were paying attention on that one, weren't you? Super proud. And what's our last step? Find your vertex. Okay, how do we find our vertex?
Yeah. Póngale. ¿Qué? Acá está. Poné. Póngale Y igual. 2.5 2 menos 5 paréntesis 2.5 más 12.
Good. Take a point. So you plug in X.
¿Qué?
Plug in X.
Ah, esa cosa.
Yeah. All right, work that out without me. Don't be afraid of the decimals. We are not afraid of decimals. Persevere in the face of danger. Probably not. I mean, I'm sure it's like some derivative of it, but pretty sure it's from like Pirates of the Caribbean or something. Remember to put 2.5 in parentheses when you're squaring it. Danubia, are you alive? ¿Por qué? Please don't die. Wait until lunch. All right, do we need some help on this one, or we got it?
Okay.
Help? Can I see the calculator? All right, did you get 2.5 squared? Did y'all get 6.25?
Yeah.
Okay, so we write that down right here. And then we did 5 times 2.5. We got that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Are we ready? Or do we need a mo? Did everybody get to that point?
Yes.
Okay. Then you did 6.25 minus 12.5, right?
Yep.
And then you added 12? And we got 5.75? Ooh, this is going to be a fun one. Thank you, sir. Why did we need help on that? Because we're lazy? Okay. Is it because you're going to have to graph a fraction? Or is it just in general?
Just in general.
Okay. Now, Mackenzie, I have a question for you. Our y-intercept is 12, right? And our vertex is at 2.5, 5.75. So do we need any negatives on our graph on the y-axis? So we can make it down here, correct? All right, awesome. No. Okay, now we need to draw our axis of symmetry. So we're going to go right 2.5. So that's halfway between 2 and 3, and we're going to put a vertical line. And make it dotted, not solid. Now, and the reason I did that is because we found right here the x was 2.5. Now we need to plot our y-intercept. What is our y-intercept?
12.
Okay, so we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now our vertex has to be on this line right here. So we're going to go right 2.5, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5.75 is right before 6. Now, do we have enough dots or do we need one more point? One more. And we get that by flipping it across the axis of symmetry. Now, why would we not flip it this way? Why would we not bring this dot over here?
Because the vertex is in the middle.
Yes, good. Take a point. The vertex is on the axis of symmetry, and this axes are mirrored. So if this is 2.5 units away, how many does it need to be over here?
2.5.
And then do we connect it with a U or a V?
V.
A U. Parabola is a U. All right, you think we can take our quiz? If I let you keep this page out.
Yes.
Yes.
I think we can do it. Yes.
You can fill on the board too, just your handwriting, so it's better than mine.
Yes, I will leave this up and you can keep it out on your desk, okay? So make sure you have a calculator because you cannot use your cell phone. Yes, sir.
So after you got